first workout for the stretch series is going to be a downward dog. Now, you're going to want to bend at your hips, put your hands on the ground, and then you're going to walk them out in front of you until your hips are no longer above your feet. You're going to want to make sure you get your hips far enough to where your heels stay off the ground. Now, you should be feeling a deep stretch in your hamstring and in your calf muscles. And since you're going to have your hands right in front of you, you're going to want to make sure you're pushing into the ground so that you avoid any sliding and so that you're actually also getting a stretch in your shoulders. Now, it's not going to be a deep stretch in your shoulders, but it's going to be enough to keep them strong and basically prevent any injury in them. So make sure you are pushing actively through your hands and getting a deep stretch in your hamstrings and calves. You're going to walk yourself back up to your forward fold position, and you're going to come into a open leg forward fold stretch. Now you're going to try to reach your hands as far back as you can. You're going to be stretching here. You're doing the same thing. You're stretching your hamstring and your ass muscles. Yeah, I said ass. Deal with it. But you're going to be stretching deep. You're going to try to reach as far as you can. If you cannot reach too far back, you can always put your hands on the ground and pull yourself back like that. Make sure you're stretching real good so that after the stretches, your body is completely relaxed and so that you can eventually live an injury-free life. Now we're going into another stretch. We're going to go over to the left side of the body and make sure that you are actively bringing that head towards that foot, keeping those hands on the foot, making sure you're feeling a deep stretch in your hamstrings here too. These are really good in order to prevent any kind of hamstring injury in the future. After you completed the series, your hamstrings will be relaxed, and when you need to get into your sport specific training, you'll come back more resilient. Hold the positions for 30 to 45 seconds. You're going to walk over to your right side and you're going to do the exact same thing. Try to bring that head forward towards that foot, hands on your foot, and you're going to feel deep stretch in your hamstring. Make sure you're trying to grab your foot, bring your head into it, and make sure you're getting a deep stretch. Allowing the muscles to relax will allow you to basically live an injury-free life. So these are important to do after your workout so that you can relax the muscles after you have completely obliterated them or after you have worked them out enough to the point of exhaustion. We're going to stand up, shake it out a little bit, and then you're going to put one foot over the other and reach down. If you can touch the ground, good. If you can't, you can keep your hands on your shins, but you're trying to reach far down here so that you can get another stretch in your hamstring. Eventually, you should be able to place your hands on the ground after doing these stretches for long enough. Remember, we're living an injury-free life. That means you need to stretch after your workouts. You need to stretch after intense sport sessions. If you cannot stretch after intense sport sessions, then you need to do it after your strength and conditioning. You're going to do the same thing to the other side. Step one foot over, reach far down, touch the ground if you can. If you can't, touch your shins. Like I said, eventually you should be able to bring yourself all the way to the ground with these. For now, wherever you can put your hands, it's going to be good. You're holding it for 30 to 45 seconds. Make sure you are breathing throughout this whole exercise stretch session so that you can allow your diaphragm to also expand and relax, allowing you to be okay in uncomfortable positions. Now we're going to go to a standing position. We're going to bring that foot up and we're going to grab it behind our backs with our same sided hand. Now you're going to pull on it if you can in order to stretch the quadricep muscle. It's a difficult position to hold completely, so if you need to jump around sometimes, I understand. It's best if you do have a stick, but if you do not, you could also put your hand on your other leg that is not being stretched in order for the stability to kick in. Make sure you're pulling actively so that you can stretch your quad muscle, because yes, we just finished stretching our hamstrings, but our quads are also important to stretch out. You're going to do the same thing to the other side. Actively pull that heel towards your butt. Make sure you're staying balanced. If you need to jump around, like I said, it's okay. Just try to catch your balance. Pull on that heel. Make sure it's getting close to your ass. Again, if you need more balance, you could always put that hand on your other leg so that you can remain in a balanced position. We finished stretching the hamstrings. Now we need to stretch the quads. If you did stretch session number 1, you didn't stretch your quads, but it's okay because we're going to hit them in this stretch session. Now we're going to start moving to our upper body. You're going to bring your hand up across the body, and then you're going to cross it with the other arm, stretching the shoulder muscles and your back muscles. Make sure you are actively pulling on that arm so that you can get a deeper stretch as you stand there and pull the arm across. If your sport primarily dictates that you use only lower body muscles, you still need to be able to stretch your upper body in order to relax it and to get overall body recovery. Now we're doing the same thing to the other side. Arm across the body, pull it across. Other arm is going to come up and cross it, and we're going to pull that arm so that you can stretch the shoulders and the back muscles. Remember, you should be holding these positions for 30 to 45 seconds. You should be okay with being uncomfortable and with a little bit of pain that it does cause. You can do this stretch session anywhere. I'm at the park. You could do it in your gym. You could do it in the office. You could do it at home. All you need to know is that if you are an athlete or if you are somebody who exercises consistently, you need to stretch. Now we're going to go into a couple of dynamic stretches. We're going to bring our hands up overhead and to the sides. Up overhead, then to the sides. Actively moving through that range of motion for the shoulder. We're also stretching our chest in this exercise. So move them up overhead to the sides, up overhead to the sides, reaching as far back as you can so that you can stretch that chest muscle as much as you can. Since it's a dynamic movement, we are going to still do 30 to 45 seconds, but we're going to move through them nice and calmly. We're not going to do them extremely explosive, but we are moving through it so that we can stretch all areas that need to be stretched. The next exercise we're going to do are shoulder rolls. We're going to roll our shoulders up and towards the back, and then we're going to move up and towards the front. We're doing dynamic movements for the upper body this stretch session. Make sure you're moving them nice and smooth, getting stretches in the up and back position and the up and forward position. Making sure we're loose enough so that if we are in need of counterbalance when we are running, we're able to do so. Now here, we're bringing our shoulders forward and bringing our shoulders backwards while stretching our arms forward and back. Make sure you are moving them nice and smooth. Do not try to push them to an explosive movement. Here we're doing our hugs across our body with both our arms. It's a dynamic movement, and we are also going to be stopping in the position afterwards. Remember to do both sides. This is a dynamic upper body stretch session. We're still stretching the upper body. We're just moving nice and smooth with it. A good note here is to do 3 arm swings and then hold for a couple of seconds. Actively moving is going to be the best thing to do for this stretch session. Now we're going to go into a deep squat position. If you can't get into a deep squat, then we need to work on that, and you need to hit me up directly so that we can figure out how to get you into a deep squat. Now here we're doing torso rotations by bringing one hand up off the ground and up overhead. This is going to be good for you to get that rotational stretches into your stretch routine. Actively moving through these stretches as well. We're moving up and down, up and down. Now make sure you're reaching up as far as you can, twisting as far as you can, so that you can get deep stretches through these ranges of motion. The last thing we're going to do is position ourselves onto our feet, and we're going to be bringing our ass up into the sky so that we can get a deep stretch in the hamstring, which is going to be an active dynamic stretch for those hamstring muscles to relax and contract. So you're coming up, stretching, and then down. Up, stretching, and then down. If you cannot move through this range of motion, you need to contact me so that we can work on it together in order for you to actually be able to get through these stretches. Now, this last thing you're going to be doing is you're going to be bringing your chest as high as you can. Your elbows should be close to your knees, and you should be in a deep squat position so that you can get a deep stretch. And that should be it for this one. Hopefully you guys get a good stretch out.